What's going on, my little piglets? It's your BFF Pork Chop here, and I'm coming at you with another update with Pork Chop. Sorry, lights gotta go. I'm driving, so darkness. Anyway, today I mentioned something last night about the coronavirus and all that good stuff that's going around and about them canceling sporting events. Well, what a difference a day makes. They've canceled pretty much, if you name it, they've already canceled it as a sporting event in the United States. Major League Baseball has said that they're not going to play for a couple of weeks, which that means that the affiliates, the AAA and AA affiliates, also aren't going to be able to play for a couple of weeks. And then hockey, the NHL, they said that they're done. Their season's done. March Madness got canceled. All of the conference tournaments have been canceled, and it's just, I mean, yeah, it's bad. You know, you get this disease, you get this virus in your country, and you know, people get sick and people are dying, but people are bouncing back from this, guys. They're bouncing back from this virus. And I feel kind of like an asshole because I'm not worried about this at all. I could totally be wrong, and if that day comes where I'm wrong and we have 300,000 people infected with this virus and like 10% of them are dead, then yeah, I'm gonna feel like a complete total asshole, and I'm gonna admit when I'm wrong. But as of right now, y'all, I don't know. I just feel like this is being blown way out of proportion. And not only is it being blown out of proportion, I just feel like that, yes, the proper safety measures need to be advised. You know, closing down all of these events and closing down, like Live Nation has said that they've canceled their concerts for the next couple of weeks, which I lucked out on, y'all. I totally lucked out because at this rate, at this leg of the tour, Lubbock was the last stop for Kiss on this tour. As of right now, they had to cancel the remainder of their shows. They've rescheduled them for October when they have a little bit of time. But I got to witness the last Kiss show on this leg of the tour. So, and that's crazy though, because I think Albuquerque was like second to last on the first leg of the End of the Road tour. And it's crazy that, you know, all these bands are canceling events, and I'm sure that Gene and Paul don't want to cancel it, but I'm sure that they were told and advised to cancel it, so they did. They literally, the story goes that they landed in Tulsa last night. I believe that it was last night, and they left Tulsa this morning to go back to Los Angeles, back to pretty much Kiss headquarters. So that was an indication that Tulsa, they're not going to play. But they've like I said, they've already rescheduled it for October, and I can already hear the Australian fans bitching because of the brush fires in Australia. Kiss had to cancel their entire Australian leg of the tour, and they have yet to announce makeup dates or anything like that. They're gonna make them up, they are, but it makes me roll my eyes when I'm reading about a post that Kiss posted on their Facebook, and Australian fans are like, oh, you're playing in Lubbock? Oh, it must be nice. It must be nice for all the people that live in Lubbock. I'm here in Australia, and they still haven't told us when they're going to renew the dates. And it's just, it's going to happen. Just, sorry, I'm bitching just a bitch about that. And in all honesty, the proper precautions need to be, you know, addressed. They need to do what they have to do. Basketball has suspended the season, they said, for at least 30 days. So that means that honestly, if this thing blows over, like I hope it does, we're gonna have a championship in July instead of June of this summer for basketball, because they usually stop it in June. So if they have to pretty much suspend the season for a month, then there you go. Mark Cuban has been kind of a spokesperson for this whole incident, because he was told that he was pretty much told at the game last night that they were pretty much going to shut down for the season. And I typically don't like Mark Cuban, but what he's doing is fantastic. Because it's more than just the players on the court and on the bench, guys. It is the person taking tickets. It's the person running the concession stand. It's the person that's doing the parking. It's a machine. It's not just, it just happens, every few nights, at the American Airlines Center. The Mavericks, it takes a small army to run the games. The scorekeeper and the janitor, the guy that turns on the lights, and everything, guys. But anyway, Mark Cuban has said, not only the players are also, because the players obviously are going to get compensated, they're still going to get paid to not play, and he said also, like, the corporate office and stuff like that, they're going to get paid. But not only that, but they're going to pay the girl at the hot dog stand. They're going to pay the guy that takes your ticket and the usher that shows you to your seat. They're going to pay the water boy. They're going to pay these people. And I don't know if it's going to come out of his personal pocket. I don't know what the issue is. But good for Mark Cuban, man. I don't really see eye to eye with the guy on a lot of things. I actually think he's extremely obnoxious. But that's just me. But this one might have shed a little light on Mark Cuban for me. And also, they were told that the players were technically allowed to practice. They're going to be allowed to practice. So I don't know about all that, but if they're still allowed to practice, man, they got to stay in shape. They got to fine tune the machine, and all that good stuff. So yeah, I just think kudos to Mark Cuban, and kudos for. I think that the NBA has kind of talked about this more than the other leagues. NHL pretty much just shut it down. The NBA, they're playing damage control because a couple of players have been diagnosed with the coronavirus. Both of them Utah Jazz players. Gobert is his name, and I can't remember the other player's name on the top of my head. I apologize. But Gobert took this as a joke, and was like touching all the microphones and touching everything in the locker room and touching his teammates and touching their shoes and their equipment and stuff like that. And he eventually not only was diagnosed with the coronavirus, but he also, let me see if I can turn this one on too. That didn't do jack shit. He also got his teammates sick for being careless and, taking it as a joke. I'm taking it seriously, but I'm not panicking about it. I've found myself washing my hands frequently, and I'm getting a little bit more aware of not only the coronavirus and the potential, the potential damage it can do to this country. We've seen what it's doing in Italy. We've seen what it's doing in Korea. Like Italy's like shut down, y'all. Like they pretty much grocery stores and law enforcement buildings and stuff like that, like the only things that are open. Everything else is shut down. Like you can go get your prescription drugs and you can go get your soup and crackers and your cold medicine and stuff like that, but you can't go to the movies, you can't go to see a concert, you can't even go to the park, I don't think, because that's a government. Those are government places. So I'm sure that they're shut down too. But it went from something that annoyed me, because like I listen to when I don't listen to my music, I listen to talk radio, whether it be sports or political or what have you. And it's just taken over the airwaves, y'all. It is in full force, and I don't see it going anywhere for at least a couple more weeks. I think it'll eventually dissipate within the next couple of weeks. Hopefully I'm right. But international air travel pretty much is not a thing. I agree with that, because anybody from any country can just come in here and have it, and we don't know. My next door neighbor could have it for all I know, and we don't know. And I was watching, of all people, it shocked me, Ultimate Cowboy 82, who usually does Dallas Cowboy videos here on YouTube, was talking about the virus and about how we're not going to have like a vaccine for this for like another year, y'all. That doesn't mean that the thing is going to last a year, but it seems like, we're going to have to put up with this for a little while longer. And like I said earlier, the rates of getting it and then recovering from it is it's very high right now. And in all honesty, yeah, it's annoying, but we also need to have the proper safety precautions for this stuff. And a few political stances here. This is why borders need to be a thing. Not to get too political, but some politicians want open borders. They want, hey, you live up in Montana. Hey, let's go to Toronto without a passport. Let's hop up there and, go, catch a Leafs game or something like that. Or, you live in El Paso and you're like, hey, let's go to Mexico. Let's go hang out in Mexico. That shouldn't be a thing. There should be checks and balances for that kind of thing. There should be, you're going to another country, you need a passport, you need to state why you're there, how long you're going to be there, all that good stuff. This just amplified why borders are so important in this world. Because easily, if we had open borders, somebody could come from Italy to America and infect more people than we could probably think of. But enough about that. I'm not going to get too political, like I said, about that. I'm not going to talk about that anymore. But I just, wash your hands, clean, sanitize. I said this last night. Don't get too close to people. Meaning, like I think it said that the coronavirus, like if you're face to face with somebody, I don't know, some nurse called in one of the radio shows a few days ago, and were self-reported, like it's nothing like set in stone or for like a newspaper or anything like that, but she said that the virus could die if you're like 6 feet away from somebody. But if you're anything closer than that, it might be a problem. I don't know. That's just, what this nurse said on the radio when they called into one of the radio shows I listened to. Don't know if that's true or not, but she's a nurse, so she might know a thing or two about a thing or two for all we know. But, I'm just a Texas boy. And, I'm not a politician. I'm not I'm definitely not a news reporter. I'm not a scientist. I'm not anything. But one thing that I know that I am is, in most instances, I feel like I'm unshakable. I'm steady. I'm calm most of the time. I'm the type of guy that's, whatever happens, happens, If the captain has to go down with the ship, then so be it. But I I just feel as if though it's going to have a solution here very quickly. We're just going to have to put up with it a little bit longer. I don't see this being like the swine flu, which nobody freaked out about the swine flu, guys. Nobody freaked out. And over like 300,000 people were affected by it. And no, they didn't cancel concerts, they didn't cancel basketball games. And that thing lasted from like April of like 2009 to like January of 2010. So it lasted damn near a year, y'all. But we had way more people that were affected by it, way more people that were that were killed because of it. But of course, this is just a couple of weeks into it, and we've only had, as of right now, last I heard, only 40 deaths. But again, you get places like Italy, which pretty much, wow, I think they said like 12,000 people have been diagnosed with it, and 1,000 have, they're pretty much approaching 1,000 have died because of it. But anyway, guys, be smart. Just be smart. If I have to give you any nugget of knowledge that you can take home with you, it's be smart. Don't do anything stupid. Don't be like a guy that I heard about on the radio that got tested for the coronavirus, didn't get his results, but he still went on an airplane, and they kicked him off the airplane because, dude, we don't know your results, so why would you risk it? Why would you, potentially be tested positive for it and just say, we're not going to affect, a couple hundred people. He eventually tested positive is what I heard, but I mean, just don't. If you have the symptoms, stay home. Pull the kids out of school if the school systems haven't already. They've already announced that pretty much Texas Tech and Texas A&M is going to be pretty much all online after spring break is over. And just take the proper precautions, and we're going to get through this, y'all. And I think we're going to come back from this. The stock market isn't so good, but it goes up and down for a reason. It's not steady. It doesn't die. It's crashed a couple of times, but there's always a bounce back. When you're projecting towards the ground, you always find a way to kind of bounce up. It's a roller coaster. Life is a roller coaster. You just have to go through the motions, and you'll get through it. It might be a rocky patch. It might be something that's just utterly disastrous, but you'll eventually get over it. But anyway, guys, I'm talking too long. I got to get up in 5 hours. Son of a bitch. And anyway, guys, thank y'all so much once again for dropping by. Sorry about the delay, by the way. Yesterday's video was technically this morning's video. Didn't get posted till 3 a.m. But hopefully I can get this out quicker than that. But thank y'all so much once again for dropping by. And always remember, my little piglets, Colin Porkchop loves y'all the mostest, even during a crisis such as this. If you need somebody to talk to, if you need somebody to be there, I got you. I won't be there physically, but I got you. And yeah, just, again, be smart. Bye, guys.